What's up everybody, PR and VR, and today we're going over a couple tips and tricks in Hard Bullet. Now, this list is by no means exhaustive, but some of the stuff you may know, some of the stuff you may be new to. Either way, all of it will benefit you. So with that, let's kick this off, pun intended, with kicks. Now there are two types of kicks you can deliver. The front snap kick, which is just a quick press of the button, or if you're using the joystick, pressing up. And the roundhouse kick, which is a holding of the A button or holding up on the stick. Performing a jump kick allows you to bounce off your opponent and set up another attack Matrix style. Kicks are not only a great way to knock back an opponent or maybe even disarm, they're also a great way to drop a ball on someone. So it's a matter of personal preference, but for me, I'd rather use the stick for kicks and just deliver a simple snap kick, because heaven forbid I manage to actually get two heavy kicks in a row with the stick. I mean, if I did, literally guys, I'd go out and just play the lottery because I might hit it big. I'd rather use the button, the A button, for something like jumping. And we're going to get into why in a minute. That being said, if you haven't been utilizing kicks in the game, I strongly suggest you do, as they're great. Remember guys, with kicks, skies are the limits. And speaking of skies being the limits, let's get into the next one. So earlier I mentioned I prefer to make the A button my jump button, and I've had far more use for jumping. Like, this is me holding the jump to clear a gap versus just a simple jump. This is great if you're going to also rebound off walls, which is just looking at the wall and hitting jump, rebounding off enemies, delivering awesome kills, or my personal favorite, the sky's the limit. Literally look up when you jump off the wall and you get major air. You can also still perform high jumps even in a hanging position, so take advantage of that as well. I've found myself using jump far more than I have kick, so I really hope this isn't something that's going to get nerfed or removed, as I think it's going to be great for the roguelike version. So real quick note on elbow physics, it's supposed to help you use elbows for your attacks and keep your elbows from clipping through things, but honestly I haven't really found it effective, so I don't use it personally. Concerning throwing objects, just use your wrist. Don't try using your entire arm, and slow motion makes them go further. Next up is the cousin that never gets invited to family reunions. So the pepper box is basically that kid that nobody wants on their team that they happen to get stuck with and they kind of resent it. But I do have a few tips concerning this gun that might benefit you. Be warned, it has glitched on me, and I'll get into that in a minute. Leaving what I'll call the back guard open while firing this gun will eject the shells while you're firing. Now this only seems to work when you're stationary, so if you're going to rapid fire this gun, you're going to have to do it from a stationary position. Loading is still going to be a pain in the neck. It's going to be one bullet at a time. So if you're really gung-ho about wanting to get the skins for this gun, I suggest carrying more than one. Now I mentioned earlier that this gun has a glitch where one shell will get stuck in the chamber like so.
Would you look at this? Yeah, well. Would you look at that?
And it'll prevent you from loading more than 3 bullets. So you'll only be able to load 3 bullets in this gun. At this point, the gun's kind of useless. I mean, it's kind of a useless gun to start with, right? But it becomes even more useless. So at that point, you're better off discarding the gun than trying to figure out how to clear it. This trick also, by the way, seems to work with the long iron. As you continue to pull the trigger, you'll continue to dump some of the shells. The pepper box will dump the shells while you're firing, while as a long iron will dump the shells after you fired when you consecutively pull the trigger afterwards. So just kind of keep that in mind. And sometimes the best defense is someone else. If you feel like the odds are stacked against you and you're being shot at from all directions, don't be afraid to grab one of their buddies and use them as a meat shield. This is a super effective way to get really close to whoever the shooter is, and again, they won't shoot their buddy unless of course he owes them money. You can try throwing him into the opponent, or you can just try to reach over and grab the gun. I personally just prefer to get the gun, as flinging these guys is far too much work. Well guys, this has been my beginner tips for Hard Bullet. There's probably more out there. Maybe you know some. Feel free to leave them in the comments section. Guys, if you like the content, if you like what I'm doing, feel free to like, share, subscribe. If not, thank you for the time you spent watching this video. I appreciate it. Have a great time.